What's the core difference between twin flame and soulmate?
Yeah. So the idea of a twin flame, Plato's Symposium talks about it. It's that your soul splits in half and you have one other soul that is your other half. You don't meet in lifetimes that often. But when you do, there's this rapid growth learning, which causes a lot of a struggle because you mirror each other's deepest wounds for the other person to rapidly heal. Mostly unknowingly, you're mirroring, and the struggle is deep. And so often there's a lot of breaking up, a lot of challenge. Often the relationships don't work because it's so hard to be around somebody who mirrors you to that degree. It's for your soul growth. It is for your highest good so that you can heal these things and move into the world in a bigger sense. A soulmate, there's lots of soulmates. There are people that you've had many lives with, and they're people who you like to, it's like, think of your best friend over lifetimes, right? So you just kind of have these people that, these souls that you reincarnate with a lot, and there's that comfort. So, you meet how many people in a year through work and life and just your comings and goings. And once in a while you meet somebody and you're like, oh my God, this person and I were like brothers, we're like family, right? It's that knowing or friendship. That's kind of like a soulmate relationship. And you can have many of those in a lifetime.
Yeah. It's something that I feel in my throat and my heart. Like when I know that, like, I can close my eyes and I can visualize like probably 3 or 4 soulmates in my life, but I haven't had a lot of them. I don't know what that means. Maybe we can do another reading on that. But the twin flame, man, do I feel like in my relationship, am I in a twin flame? Every single thing that is mirrored back to me is so intense. And I'm sure if you asked her, she'd say the same thing. I'm not here to air out our dirty laundry, but like, man, the twin flame being the mirror for our deepest wounds, the two halves of the soul. And this includes strengths and weaknesses. Can you expand that?
Yeah. You guys, I read your records and your partners, and it's very, very, very rare that I'll find a twin flame. You can really feel the difference because there's an energetic difference in the records. And it definitely feels like you two have that. There's this great, great, great love and pull and connection. But yeah, the idea is that you go and live as a soul, you go and live different lives, and then you meet up, and your soul and her soul have now picked up a bunch of lessons. And it's almost like a cheat sheet to meet your twin flame, because they're going to mirror back a bunch of things and you're going to mirror back a bunch of things, and you get like, a PhD in a matter of, weeks instead of years, right? If you think about it that way. So your twin is teaching you real quick, but on a human level, that a level of growth feels like you're tearing more than you're comfortable with a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's something that people can't quite tolerate, and they also don't know that that's what they're in. And so it ends up being overwhelming, or they don't have the support for the trauma, that the unresolved traumas that come up, or the healings that need to happen. So there's a lot of documentation about it. It's a bit of a topic that's, I don't know, there's controversy around it, I guess, but I found it to be true. And that's kind of the Akashic Records view of it.
Yeah, I found it to be true as well. I'll tell you that the soulmate, there can be this like almost like fun, like we're on vacation together, it's my soulmate. And those are good. And I'm not here to judge. Sometimes maybe, I'm curious how you feel about this. Soulmates can be a marriage. Soulmates can be a relationship. Soulmates can be that. It doesn't have to be a twin flame. It's almost like the burden of spiritual growth for twin flame relationships has to be held in such a special way, with so much reverence and so much support, that without the right ingredients, it can crash and burn.
Yeah, no, soulmate love is wonderful. It's very hard to make a twin flame relationship stick, and they blow up frequently. They're hard, and yeah. I mean, if you check out on the internet, there's the 12 steps or the 8 steps or whatever for twin flame relationships. But a lot don't get to the union at the end because it's just too much healing. And one of the two just can't handle it and bails.
Because they either didn't have the right support or because of the soul contract free will piece.
Yeah, one or the other. It's too much. They don't want to. They bail on their agreement. Life is too hard once again, right? Like in the 3D realm, like the things they have to actually heal are just more than they can handle.
And they do it potentially in 1, 2, or more lifetimes.
That's right.
It just continues.
That's right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So how has this played out for you personally?
I met my twin flame 4.5 years ago. And, it was extremely, it was a very quick relationship to ignite, but then the breakup started really quickly. So the ability to flow with the energy that was happening was much more than we were prepared for. We didn't know what it was. We didn't understand it. We didn't have context for it. It took us years to know that's what the relationship was, in fact. And so there was just a lot of breaking up and a lot of healing, coming back together, breaking up, healing, coming back together. And definitely over the years, it's been very beneficial, but extremely taxing way to learn. I would say I wouldn't wish it on somebody, but at the same time, it's very, very beautiful. And I'm fortunate. I look back and I'm like, wow, I'm 10 times better of a person for this relationship to be in my life. But it's like all learning the hard way is how I would probably say it.
This is something the spiritual path or the spiritual growth path. It's not always sexy. It's glamorized by magazines. It's glamorized by social media. Oh my God, I'm so spiritual, or I'm on the spiritual path. You better be fucking prepared to bleed if you really want to be on the spiritual path. Let that sink in here, because if I want to grow spiritually, I have to be willing, free will, to combine with that soul contract and go, all right, whatever the course brings me, I'm going to meet it with love. I'm going to meet it with my best effort. I'm going to meet it with my biggest open heart. And essentially the goal of this, right, if I'm in a twin flame, would be like so much healing in one lifetime that there would be a perfect soul union. And to bring it full circle, in the very beginning, we talked about Yogananda. What was given to me as a gift in 2019 from my mentor, Paul, he said the soulmate prayer to me. And it was, bless me that I choose my life's companion according to the laws of perfect soul union. And I just got like a full body emotional chill right now. I have that cry feeling just talking about it. And he said that soulmate prayer to me twice. And like 12, 11 days later, I met Carrie in the desert and we hiked up this mountain. And I knew, I was like, I was like starting to figure out. And then a couple months later, I was like, I don't know why, but you're the mother of my child. So I have experienced this twin flame. What parting guidance could you give to anyone who might be in a twin flame situation so that they can eventually be this perfect soul union?
Check out some of the videos on this screen that are perfectly curated based on the video you just saw. Make sure you follow me, and I'll see you in the next video.